Hey, what's up everyone? It's Matthew Marconi with Liberty Multimedia. In this video, we're going over 5 entrepreneurship development tips for anyone looking to start and grow their own business. And these tips come straight from some of the best in the world. Let's go.
I don't like to work for people. Many of you in here, I hope, inherit that. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to control your own destiny, you work for yourself. That's how it works. I'm trying to inspire those of you who are on the tipping point. Take the chance, you're young. Go for it. There's nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning 10 years or 20 years from now and do whatever you like. It's about freedom. That's what matters. I'm not saying being an employee is bad, but believe me, being an entrepreneur is better.
That's well said by Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. Look, being an entrepreneur is 10 times harder than being an employee, and that's one of the reasons why it's not for everyone. And that's okay. But for anyone that is interested in growing their own business, maybe even to the point that it replaces your full-time job, we recommend starting with tip number 1. Choosing a business that you're passionate about. You'll hear this echoed throughout the business community, and for good reason. Here's CEO and founder of Amazon.com, Jeff Bezos, currently the world's richest man, explaining why that is.
Never chase the hot thing, whatever it is. That's like trying to catch the wave, and you'll never catch it. You need to position yourself and wait for the wave. And the way you do that is you pick something you're passionate about. So that's the number one piece of advice that I give to somebody who wants to start a company or start a new endeavor inside of a bigger company. Make sure it's something you're interested in, something you're passionate about. Missionaries build better products. And so I would take a missionary over a mercenary any day. Mercenaries want to, flip the company and get rich. Missionaries want to build a great product or service, and one of those great paradoxes, it's usually the missionaries who end up making more money anyway.
So pick a business that you're passionate about, centered around creating meaningful value for other people. Otherwise, you'll be way more likely to burn out when things get tough. That brings us to tip number 2. Train yourself to have a high pain threshold. This one comes from maybe the best entrepreneur in the world right now, and my personal favorite, the man behind Tesla Motors and SpaceX, Elon Musk.
There's a friend of mine who's got a good saying, which is that starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. Okay, that's generally what happens. Because when you first start a company, there's lots of optimism and things are great. And then, so happiness at first is high. Then you encounter all sorts of issues. And happiness will steadily decline. And then you'll go through a whole world of hurt. And then eventually, if you succeed, and in most cases you will not succeed, and Tesla almost didn't succeed, came very close to failure. Then if you succeed, then after a long time you will finally get back to happiness.
So be mentally prepared for a lot of pain that's coming down the line. Anyone that tells you otherwise is either lying to you or doesn't know what they're talking about. That's why I like to do things like affirmations, fasting, cold showers, training Muay Thai. Constantly getting out of your comfort zone trains you to deal with the inevitable pain of running a company. Tip number 3, learn how to make deals. Now, you might not necessarily think of yourself as a deal maker or a salesman, but these skills are so important to anyone looking to run a business. At the end of the day, it's your ability to make deals and commit to them that determines your success, failure, and your reputation. Here's serial entrepreneur and author Tim Ferriss on one way you can do that.
You want to get very good at crafting deals and persuading and negotiating, and the easiest way to get good at that is to observe someone who is doing that regularly, whether it's on the phone or otherwise. So I would suggest that you look for opportunities to learn from other people who are already good at deal making and negotiating, because you will use that in everything, whether you're buying, selling, or anything in between.
There are tons of great resources available on YouTube to anyone looking to improve their skills as a salesman or deal maker. From Tim Ferriss to Gary Vee, Dan Lok, Grant Cardone. Just look into it yourself and the resources are there. Just learn how to make deals and honor them. Tip number 4, delight your customers. This one comes from maybe the most successful owner investor of our era, the great Warren Buffett.
Well, tomorrow morning, when you look in the mirror after you've gotten up, just put it in lipstick or whatever you want on the mirror and just put delight my customer. Not satisfy my customer, delight my customer. Any business that has delighted customers has a sales force out there that you don't have to pay, you don't see them, but they're talking to people all the time. Whenever I bought my last car a few years ago, I don't remember how much I paid, but I remember the experience I had. I either went out of there feeling very good about the person that dealt with me, or I felt, next time I'm going to go someplace else. So your customer is going to get to vote, they're going to get to talk, and you want them out there as salesmen for you, and they will be if you delight them.
Last, we have tip number 5. Start with consistent effort, not by taking on a business loan. This one comes from Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and multi-billionaire.
If you're starting a business and you take out a loan, you're a moron, right? Because there's so many uncertainties involved with starting a business, yet the one certainty that you'll have to have is paying back your loan. And the bank doesn't care about your business, or whoever you borrow from, unless it's family, doesn't care about your business. And so it's just a complete conflict. 99% of small businesses you can start with next to no capital. It's more about effort. Small businesses don't fail for lack of capital. They fail for lack of brains. They fail for lack of effort. Most people just aren't willing to put in the time to work smart. I mean, they go for it in a lot of cases, but they just don't recognize how much work's involved. And if you do the preparation, if you start a business, you better know your industry and your company better than anyone in the whole wide world, because you're competing.
It's crazy how many entrepreneurs are told to get loans to start their business. Don't do it if it's something you can avoid. It can take months or even years to earn your first revenue as a business owner. That's why it's great to start your business on the side of your full-time job and then eventually quit once you have enough revenue to justify that transition. Get used to working free in the beginning, because that's just the way it is. As Cuban would say, you gotta crawl before you ball. That's all for this video. Leave any questions or comments below. And if you got value from us, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And we'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching.